Hello. In this video, we're going to continue finding derivatives. So if we have y equals 8x plus 7 all over 6x plus 5, I can't do what I just did in the previous video and divide each of these by the denominator because there's more than one term down here. So instead, we have to use the quotient rule. Now, with the quotient rule, it's the bottom, which is 6x plus 5, times the derivative of the top, which is 8, minus the top, which is 8x plus 7, times the derivative of the bottom, which is 6. And then divide all of that by the bottom, 6x plus 5, close parentheses, squared. And there you go. So that's the calculus portion. Sorry, this is dy dx. My apologies. This is the derivative here. So at this point, notice we need to go ahead and distribute the 8, distribute the 6, and distribute the negative here. When we do this, 8 times 6 is 48, so we have 48x. 8 times 5 is 40. Negative 6 times 8x is minus 48x, and negative 6 times 7 is minus 42. And then divide all of that by 6x plus 5 squared. Good. Now notice that the 48x and the minus 48x, they cancel each other. So what we're left with, left with here is 40 minus 42, which is negative 2, over the denominator of 6x plus 5 squared. And that is our derivative. There we go. Letter F, we have y equals the natural log of 3 minus 5x. Notice that the derivative here, dy dx, we have to take the derivative of a logarithm. Now with logarithms, we have a fraction from the derivative of a logarithm. In the numerator, it's the derivative of the argument, which is 3 minus 5x here. And the derivative of that is negative 5. In the denominator, just rewrite the argument, which is 3 minus 5x. And then if we need to, we would take this and multiply by the natural log of the base. But the base here is e because it's a natural log, so I don't need a natural log in my answer. And that's it. You'd simplify if you could, but you can't here. And there we go. That's letter F. Next, let's go on to letter G. Y equals parentheses 2x to the fourth minus 8x squared plus 7, close parentheses, to the fourth power. So with this one, you don't want to multiply that out and then use the power rule. There's no reason to do that. Instead, you want to use the chain rule. So with the chain rule, it says dy dx here. The outside portion is the power. So we're going to bring the 4 down in front. That makes that 4, and then just rewrite the parentheses, 2x to the fourth minus 8x squared plus 7, and then subtract 1 from the exponent. So 4 minus 1 is 3. Good. So all I've done is I've done the power rule so far. Now I need to apply the chain rule by taking the derivative of the base here, basically. So the derivative of 2x to the fourth is 8x. And then the derivative, 8x cubed, my apologies. And the derivative of negative 8x squared, bring the 2 down in front, that makes that minus 16x. And honestly, I'm fine if you leave it that way, but I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 4 into both of those terms there and move this to the left. And so whenever I do that, this is going to give me parentheses 32x cubed minus 64x, close parentheses, and then a new parentheses, 2x to the fourth minus 8x squared plus 7 cubed. And there we go. That is the derivative. Outstanding. So let's now go on to H. Here on H, we have y equals the square root of 5x cubed plus 8. Anytime you have a square root like this, we need to go ahead and rewrite it. So it means that y is going to be parentheses 5x cubed plus 8, close parentheses, raised to the 1/2 power. And so it's going to give me dy dx here is going to equal the following. Using the power rule, the 1/2 comes down in front. So it gives me 1/2 parentheses 5x cubed plus 8 close parentheses. And then 1/2 minus 1 is, of course, negative 1/2. And then multiply by the derivative of the base. So this is the chain rule portion. So 5x cubed becomes 3 times 5 is 15. Subtract 1 from the exponent, that makes that x squared. And then notice that 8 just goes to 0. Now, I'm pretty okay if you just leave it like this, but I know that in your answers for the other ones, it gives you something else. So I'm going to show you how you would get there. 1/2 times 15 is 15 halves, and then it's 15 halves x squared. So this is the same thing as saying 15 halves x squared, parentheses 5x cubed plus 8 to the negative 1/2 power. So whenever we simplify this, notice that the negative exponent can go to the denominator. But notice that the 2 is already in the denominator, so I can actually move the x squared up here to the 15 and the 2 in the denominator there. So that's going to make this 15x squared in the numerator. And in the denominator, there's a 2 there already. But this is also going to go to the denominator as a positive exponent. So it makes that 5x cubed plus 8 to the 1/2 power. Good. And the only other thing that we need to do to get to the answer in the back is just take this 1/2 and understand that it is a square root. So this would become 15x squared all over 2 square root of 5x cubed plus 8. So that's what you would see at the back. And honestly, I'm fine with either one of these two. Or frankly, even this one. Alrighty, there you go. There is E, F, G, and H. Now we'll continue with the other ones in another video. Have fun.